everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So today I'm continuing my Worth the Hype series. A number of you had asked me a while ago on Instagram to review some of the Josh Rosebrook products that I had gotten in my Beauty Heroes box. I can't remember which one, it was a couple months back, but Josh Rosebrook skincare was featured in a Beauty Heroes box. Obviously I don't have the full range of products, but I do have the Josh Rosebrook Hydrating Accelerator, which is a facial mist. I also have the Josh Rosebrook Active Enzyme Exfoliator, which is an exfoliating mask. And then finally, I do have also the Advanced Hydration Mask. So I have 3 of his skincare products. Obviously, I'd heard a lot about Josh Rosebrook. I feel like that's a brand that's talked about quite a bit in non-toxic beauty, and not only does Josh Rosebrook do skincare, but he also does hair care as well. I've never tried any of his hair care products, and so I'm just going to be focusing on skincare in this video. And prior to receiving this box, I'd never tried any products from Josh Rosebrook before. I'd always heard really great things about them, but I'd never tried them. And one of the reasons I had never tried them was because they do have a pretty steep price point. And that is the nice thing about subscribing to a subscription box, especially something like Beauty Heroes, is that you do get to try out these products for a lot better of a price. And Beauty Heroes almost always has at least one full-size product in their box, and there's always 2, sometimes 3 products. So it's quite a good box. It's a steeper priced box, and I don't think I talk about it that often because it is a steeper priced box, but I do enjoy being able to try out especially more skincare than I normally would get my hands on. So that being said, I'm going to jump right in and begin my review of these products. I have oily skin, and I feel like the Josh Rosebrook products overall are really targeted towards drier skin types, and that is one reason I have not really tried many of his products, is because I didn't really think they would work that well for my skin type. But the good thing is I received this box and we are transitioning going into fall and moving towards winter. So first I'm going to start off by talking about the Hydrating Accelerator Mist, and this is the 2 flow ounce size. This size costs $22. The 4 flow ounce cost $35, and then there's an 8 ounce size that costs $65. So if you really love it, you could get the really big one, but there are 3 sizes of this product, and I have been really enjoying this. The first ingredient in this mist is aloe vera, which is different from a lot of other mists. Oftentimes the first ingredient will be something like water, but this is aloe vera based, which means that it's going to be very hydrating for your skin. And one thing I've noticed about all the Josh Rosebrook products is that they have an extremely extensive ingredient list. If the camera focuses, as you can see on the back of this bottle here, this whole section right here is the ingredients. So if you're looking for products with very minimal ingredients, Josh Rosebrook is not the brand for you, because the hydrating mist and both of the masks have quite extensive ingredients. I've tried a lot of different facial mists out there, and honestly, I really like this one. The scents of all the Josh Rosebrook products are quite complex, and I think that stems from these really long ingredient lists. It's not a floral mist, it's a rather kind of herbally, kind of more earthy scent. I honestly have really enjoyed it, and I would be very tempted to purchase a full size of this when I run out of it, because it's really the first mist in a while. Like, I really like the Osea one, but I've just been using that one for so long, I feel like I'm ready for a different mist, just to try out something different. And I like this one. It's a bit cooling when I put it on my skin, and honestly it makes me almost think there's camphor in it. I can't remember in this really long ingredients list if there is camphor, but there definitely is a cooling feeling to it, and I really enjoy that. So overall, I do really like this, and I think this is one of the more reasonably priced items in the range, so I definitely think it is worth it. I definitely think it is really lovely, especially if you don't want a floral like rose water mist or something like this. This is a really great alternative. Although, to be realistic, there's only so much I feel like a facial mist can do. You know, it's not the same as putting on a facial oil or putting on a mask or something like that. There is only so much that I can do, but I really have liked it, and it does mesh very well with my skin. And especially because as it is moving into winter, like when I wash my face, sometimes it can feel a little dry, and as soon as I miss this on, like my face just feels so much better. So definitely a product that I've been enjoying, and I think this one is definitely worth the hype. So the next one I'm going to talk about is the Active Enzyme Exfoliator, and this product is $65. So this is quite an expensive product, and it's a rather interesting mask. I'm going to show you what it looks like in here. It's kind of a dark browny greeny color. The color of this mask is not that appealing, and it has a really interesting scent. This scent reminds me of two things. It reminds me when I open my spice. I have like a cabinet where I keep my spices, and it kind of reminds me of that smell. Like it's a very kind of herbally mixture of different spices kind of smell, if that makes sense. Also reminds me in the same way of a health food store in my town. There was this like little tiny health food store that was kind of the only health food store we had. This was really before Whole Foods became a big thing. My mom was we were into health food when it wasn't cool to be into health food. So this is like, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, before Whole Foods was really a thing. And for some reason, my health food store had that kind of the same smell as this mask. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it definitely reminds me of that. And this mask is interesting because it contains not only a physical exfoliant, but also chemical exfoliants as well. So it does contain organic walnut shells, and that is what is acting as the physical exfoliant. And then some of the other ingredients in this mask, I'm not going to list all of them because it's got a mile-long ingredient list, but those are acting as more of a chemical exfoliant. And I was really worried that this would be too harsh on my skin, but I really have enjoyed it because as I've been moving into winter, I have been getting some dry patches on my skin, and this mask is really great at, you know, helping to treat that. It's kind of a twofold product because it acts as a mask, and then when you go to wash it off, you can rub it around, and then it also acts as an exfoliator. So it's kind of cool in that regard. I like it. My skin likes it. My skin does feel very soft and very smooth after using it, and I think that is because you are having these chemical and physical exfoliants. I have heard concerns about the walnut shells in this product and whether they're too abrasive on your skin. The way I use this mask is that I mix a little bit of water in my hands and then use that to kind of scrub the mask off. And I found that depending on the amount of water that you kind of apply to your face when you're removing it, you can adjust how scrubby the mask is, if that makes sense. Like if you try and rub it around without really having a lot of water, then it is going to be like extremely exfoliating. But if you add a little bit more water when you're scrubbing this mask off, it is definitely less scrubby. Do I think this one is worth the price? No. This is $65, and that is such a steep price for me. I know there's been some conversations recently about prices and like ingredients and price and all of that. I understand that sometimes like having really high quality ingredients is expensive, but at the end of the day, you and me and everyone else has to pay for the product. I guess in my head, there's a limit as to how much I will spend on a product, or at least it has to completely revolutionize my world, blow my socks off, like change the way my skin looks when it starts hitting kind of above that $50 mark. For me, that's kind of the maximum of where I feel comfortable spending on a product. And once I start getting above that mark, things become a lot more complicated for me. So I guess everyone has that number in their head of where they are comfortable spending. And for me, around the $50 mark is, okay, I'm okay up to $50. And once we pass that $50 mark, it has to really be worth it. And for me, I like it, I'm enjoying using it, but do I think it is worth the $65? No. I think that you can get similar effects by using other exfoliators, other exfoliating masks. I've never actually tried the exfoliating mask from Leilani Skincare, but I've had such a good experience with all of the skincare products from Leilani that I imagine that that one would be very good as well. I haven't tried it, but I imagine that one could be very comparable. Would I repurchase this when I run out? No. That's kind of how it is. Like an exfoliator is an exfoliator. there's only so much it can do, and so for me, this one is not quite worth the hype and not quite worth the price either. The final product that I have is the Advanced Hydration Mask. And this is interesting. I've never quite seen a product like this. First of all, it is the most beautiful blue color. So it is beautiful to look at. And it is like a balm. That is the best way that I can describe this product. It's obviously solid, like I can hold it upside down like this. It's quite cold here where I'm filming. What's interesting is it is a mask, so you put it on your face and it goes on as if you're putting on a cleansing balm or something like that. It's a solid oil is essentially what it is with other ingredients in it, and then you put it on your face. And then what's interesting is you leave it on your face for a while and then you take like a warm washcloth and then like wipe off the mask. You don't fully rinse it off, and then you leave whatever is left behind on your face. So I often use this mask at night for that reason. Let me put it this way, with my oily skin, that would be way too much for me during the day to have the remnants of that mask on, but at night, you know, I'm sleeping, whatever. I tend to load up a little bit more on like heavy duty oils and stuff at night. So I have tried this out. When I tried this out before it really got into fall, it was too much. It was just too heavy on my skin. I tried it once, really didn't like it. And that's part of the reason why I put off doing this review, because I was like, well, I don't like that. Let me see when the weather gets a little cooler how I feel. So now that my skin is a little drier, I'm not producing as much oil, I've tried it again and it is really nice, but I don't see any magic effects from it that I wouldn't get from just using a face oil. And that might be because of my skin type. Like maybe if you do have really dry skin, this is going to do miracles for you. But because my skin is so oily, like at a certain point, once I start adding oils, they all are kind of very similar to me. And I think it is my skin type. I love, for instance, the Leilani Champagne Serum. I've been having an amazing time with the Bristol and Sussex Hydrate Oil. So those are two that I really like. I just don't see a huge difference from this mask. It is beautiful. This one has less of an herby scent. It's got a blue tansy scent to it, is how I would describe this, because it reminds me of the Herbivore Blue Tansy. I did a review on it, I'll link it. They have a set where they have a face mask that is a chemical exfoliating face mask and then like a blue tansy face oil, and this in scent reminds me of those products. So I believe that's probably the blue tansy. So it smells really nice. I wanted to love it more than I do, and it does leave my skin feeling very nice. It does leave my skin feeling very hydrated, but it's another pricey product. And that mask is $45 for that size. So it is expensive for how much you're getting, because that's not the full size of that mask. The full size of that mask is $65. It's back to that thing where I just don't think for the price, it's worth it. It's above that $50 mark, so it's really gotta blow me away, and it's just not doing that for me. So overall, do I think Josh Rosebrook skincare is worth the hype? Not necessarily. This may very well be my skin type, because like I said, Josh Rosebrook is very targeted towards dry skin. I've noticed that in many of his products. So if you have dry skin, this may work wonderfully for you, but as someone with oily skin, really the only product out of those three that I have fallen in love with has been the Hydrating Accelerator Mist. That one I would repurchase. The two face masks, I wouldn't. And that's surprising for me to say, because I'm a face mask lover. Like, I really enjoy a good face mask. Those to me just aren't blowing me away. They leave me wanting more, especially for that price. Let us know in the comment section down below if you've tried Josh Rosebrook skincare, and if you have, what skin type do you have? Did you think it was worthwhile? Did it really work well for you? Let us know all of that in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think, because, you know, this is my experience with it, and a lot of products just work very differently for different skin types, and that is especially true with skincare, so just keep that in mind. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, check out my Instagram. I'll have my handle down below. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirl. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!